Hi, Katie. Welcome. I see that you're in here. Hi, Lindsay.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Good. Nice to see you.
You too.
And nice to see your picture, Katie, with those rock star sunglasses. Hi, Matt.
Hello, hello.
Welcome. Oh, and hi, Paris. I didn't see you jump on. Welcome back. All right, so we're going to get started in a minute. And like last week, I am going to let's talk about the technical stuff. Get it out of the way. I'm going to use the mic again because I think it carries through in the recording better there's quite a few people who, aren't able to show up in this time. So once I plug it in, I'll ask you guys to give me the thumbs up that it's working. Then I'm going to mute all of you. And then if people jump in, thank you. Sorry for that disruption last week. If people jump in, I will be aware to mute them as they come in. Hopefully they saw just to mute themselves. Does that all make sense? The technical stuff. Okay. That's such a cute picture of you, Paris. Okay, so Lindsay, will you give me the thumbs up when I plug this in?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, my dear. So, and like last week, I have my computer in front of me where I can watch you guys on a bigger screen. So if something happens, I can see. Okay.
Not yet. Can't hear you yet.
Not here yet.
How about now?
Now I can
Is
hear
it on now?
you. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. Hi, Mom.
Hi, sweetie.
Welcome.
Thank
I
you.
am muting you all.
It's a little
Okay.
bit quiet though, Raphael.
I'm trying to mute you all. Sorry. Hold on. Okay. Is it frozen on my mom still? Okay. Thank you. Okay. We're going to start. So welcome to Steady as We Go week number 3, which is the center point of our series of our time together of these 5 weeks. And today's class is titled, and all focused around the eye of the storm. So when things in the world, as we know it, are seemingly like chaotic, when there's a lot of sudden transition or abrupt changes or we don't really know what's going on, it can kind of feel overwhelming, like we discussed last week, or just downright like chaotic in our lives and in our bodies. And things may feel, at least at times, like wild and out of control and just all out here like this, you know, what is happening? How do I fit into this picture of everything that is happening? And so we can kind of start to gain insight from looking at patterns of nature and apply them to our human experience to kind of help us along the way. Because sometimes things seem chaotic, but inside of the universe and even inside of nature, there's an order even within this chaos. Okay, there's kind of a larger order. And so when there's a big kind of tropical cyclone, like a hurricane or a typhoon, there's this steady, still center point that's known as the eye of the storm. And it's known, they describe it at the center of this kind of wild, erratic, chaotic storm. The center point is beautifully still and steady and present, and even the skies in the center of the storm are clear and blue, and the winds are way less tumultuous and turbulent in the very center point. And kind of the way I see it when I think of this storm is that steady point is almost magnetic in nature. It almost like pulls the arms and the energy of the storm into the center, but there's like a wall around the center. And as the storm pulls into the center, it too gains more power and more like kind of vitality and vivaciousness, so that kind of then the storm works in a spiraling way, but to kind of push out from the center and even become more a fuller expression of the storm, if that makes sense. And so there's this kind of pulling into this steady, still eye of the storm. And then from the connection into the center point, there's even a further extending out. And so we can use these kind of representations of nature to inform not only our lives, but our yoga practice, and kind of apply that to the physical body and everything inside of the physical body, the subtle body. And so today, as we practice, we're going to play with having a steady, still center in 3 different parts of the body. Okay, so, and also known as a focal point. So it's a place where you're going to pull your awareness and pull your muscular energy into, and then from that connection into that part of the body, you're going to extend that much fully and brighter out from that steady, still center. And while we're practicing, we have kind of this wild, it can be sometimes chaotic storm of just moving through the body, making different shapes with the body, different artistic expressions of you on this day. So the 3 points in the body, one is located right in the kind of in the center point of your pelvis, right? This steady point, and that's where we're going to mostly begin with our standing postures. And then the second focal point, or the second eye we'll move to later, is in the upper chest, right here in the kind of the upper thoracic spine, or into the heart, okay? And so pulling awareness in and extending out from that place. And the third and last eye inside of the body is right in the center of the head, kind of right between the eyes and down right into the very center point of the head. And so we'll have a couple of experiences with that. So that's what we're going to do, finding that steady point amidst the storm as we practice. And today I'm going to have my music on very low, so I can hear it a little bit. I sent the playlist if you want to play it along, that's fine. If you want to listen to it later, fine too. So if you're going to join with the playlist, we can start in 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're going to start today in standing. So we're gonna come standing at the top of our mats. Let's have our feet hip width distance and parallel. Okay, and just feel this center point right kind of in the bowl of the pelvis. See this kind of very present, alive, vital, strong, powerful, but peaceful and calm simultaneously point right here. And from that point, just standing tall, you're just gonna feel your legs ground down through your legs, ground down through the soles of the feet, and then bring your hands to prayer, Anjali Mudra, looks good. And then from that steady, still point, also extend up through the center line of the body, through the neck, through the top of the head. Take a big breath in, exhale, release your arms down long by your sides. Stay grounded through the feet. Inhale, just let the breath lead, stretching up. Exhaling, letting your arms float down by your sides. Good, we'll take one more like that. Inhale, take the arms up. Now keep your arms lifted. And then we're gonna drop the right hand to the right, coming up and over to the left. And we're just gonna go side to side a couple of times, stretching up and over to the right, up and over to the left, and think about just kind of being fluid with the arms. Those look good. Great, now stretching up, bring your right fingertips to the right and just start moving your hips. So the right fingertips to the right, take your left hip out to the left and then switch it out. So moving kind of in a little more dance quality, side to side, just shifting the hips to the right and to the left, side to side. Nice. We'll do 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, we'll bow forward. Remember, you can always bend your knees as needed to support, right, the eye of the storm. We don't want to force anything. And then we'll inhale to stretch, exhale to fold, and then we're going to take the right leg back. Spin your back heel to the earth. Inhale your arms up, warrior one. So today we're going to move, at least in the first half of class, a little more fluidly through the postures. So we're going to inhale, take the arms up. We're going to exhale, stretch through the crown of the head, bring the arms back behind you. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale to lift. Exhale to bow, extending the arms back behind you. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale, warrior one. We're going to touch, step your back leg forward, Uttanasana, fold in. And then inhale to stretch. Exhale to bow, bend your knees. Inhale your arms up, Utkatasana. So this whole time right now, we are focusing on the eye of the storm right in the center of the hips. So you're pulling from your feet up into the center of the pelvis. You're pulling from the fingertips and the top of the head down into the center of the pelvis, and then you're extending from the center of the pelvis down through the legs, up through the top of the head and out through the arms. Straighten the legs, come on up, and then we're gonna just go side to side with the arms and the hips. Breathing in and out through the nose, stretching up and over. Think of just moving with the water in the ocean, where lots of these storms, these hurricanes kind of take their birthing place. Okay, inhale to reach all the way up. Exhale to bow forward, folding in. Inhale to stretch, and this time taking your left leg back, spin your back heel to the earth, arms up, warrior one. So first find that steady center, really ground down through your legs, bend your knee more. Inhale to reach up, exhale to bow forward, stretch long through the fingertips. 2 more like that. Inhale to reach, exhale to fold, inhale to reach up. Exhale to bow forward, and then inhale, warrior one or Virabhadrasana one. Touch, we'll step into a plank. The center here is still in the very center of your pelvis, and then lower the knees down. Inhale into a nice cow. Exhaling into a cat. Couple more times like that. Just get real fluid now with your breath. Exhaling. And then one more time. Inhale. Exhaling to round. Now, get a little organic with it, but first move more your hips in circles. So you're getting organic, but try focusing on the hips, moving them, circling them in one way and then the other direction. Sometimes it's challenging to go in both directions. Okay, but just getting nice and fluid in that steady center in the hips. Okay, now focus more towards your upper chest, into your upper back, your thoracic spine. Get kind of organic with that, breathing in and out through the nose. Move it in the other direction. Okay, and then we're going to add the head. So circle the head, that steady point. Neck circles in one direction and then reversing it. And then move all 3 points simultaneously in whatever way they want to move. These look great. Nice. Okay, push it into a child's pose. Bringing your awareness back into the center of the hips. Let the hips be heavy. Walk your arms out in front of you and just bow. And connect inward to that steady, ever-present, calm, magnetic, yet powerful place within you. So pull your awareness all the way down and into the hips. Let your spine extend out of the eye and the hips. Feel your legs extend out through the eye of the hips. So everything extending out from, and then your awareness pulling back in. Wave your spine forward, come onto your hands and knees. We're gonna tuck the toes, push back downward facing dog. And then we'll walk our feet forward to our hands. Inhale to stretch. Exhale to fold, ground down to your feet. Inhale, let the breath lead, extend from the hips all the way up through the fingertips. Exhale your hands to heart center. Take a nice, deep, full cleansing breath in. Exhale, release your arms down long. Inhale, letting the breath lead, reach all the way up and extend down from the hips, down into the ground, up into the sky. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to stretch long. Take your right leg back, and from the center of the hips, you're just gonna rock forward and back a couple of times. So extending out through the legs. And as we move through today's practice, we're creating just more vitality in the body by pulling your awareness in and extending out. It's like a pulsation, like the breath. Okay, so stretching forward and back. And then stop rocking forward and back, but do extend out through your front knee from your hips, from the eye, and back through your back heel. Walk your fingertips over to the right, twist up through the spine. Remember, everything emanating from the center here, out through the crown of the head, back through the back heel. You can keep your hand on the waist, left arm up, or even take the left arm all the way overhead. But whatever you do, I want you to keep the integration, keep the connection point, and extend out from there. Inhale to unwind, step into your plank. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. So here, slide your low belly out of your hips. Let the chest and heart come forward. Squeeze your shoulder blades on the back, maybe curl back or just open the throat. And extend from your hips out through your legs. So even click your toenails into your mat, your 4th and 5th toenails. So from your hips, from that steady point, extend back, Slide forward, curl. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take your right leg forward, rocking forward and rocking back. Couple of times. So kind of unleashing some dormant power right in the legs. Stop rocking forward and back, but do extend from the hips out through the front knee, push back through the back heel, and then walk over to the left, spiraling from the hips up through the spine, kind of like the spiraling arm of the storm, hand on the hip, arm up, or taking the right arm all the way overhead if that feels good to you. Breathing in and out through the nose. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, just start to spin the front of the body a little more up towards the sky. Inhale to unwind, step back plank. You can always lower your knees, chest, chin to modify, or keep your upper inner thighs lifted lower. Slide your belly forward, extend back through the feet. Almost becoming just a bigger, brighter, more expansive, enlivened version of you, downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward to your hand. Inhale to stretch. Exhale to fold. Bend your knees. Step on your hands so your palms are up. Fingertips pointing towards your heels. You could move your toes a little bit. Wiggle your toes on the palms of the hands to massage the hands. And then we're going to fold in. Let the crown of the head release down from your hips. Stretch down through the legs so the legs straighten more. Elongate the spine. Maybe shake your head yes, no, maybe. And then release the hands. Bend your knees. We're going to round all the way up. Nice and slow. Until your heart is over your hips. Very nice. Head over the heart. Inhale to reach all the way up. Exhale to bow forward and touch. Uttanasana. So like this moving meditation, just kind of this, just watching the storm unfold as you practice. Inhale to stretch forward. Exhale, take your right leg back. Spin your back heel to the earth and inhale your arms up, warrior one. Okay, bend your front leg, find the connection in the pelvis. Okay, and then we're gonna wrap your left arm or underneath your right, cross once at the elbows and then again at the wrist, so your palms touch and your thumbs face the face. And then we're gonna inhale, so stay grounded, sink down into the eye of the storm, and then we're gonna lift up and curl back. And as we exhale, we'll bow forward, pull navel towards the spine, and breathe into the low back. Inhale to lift, curl it back. Exhale to bow forward. Okay, one more time like that. 3 times is a charm. Exhale to fold. Good, inhale to come on up. Release the arms, warrior two. So we're moving, everything's kind of moving and morphing around that steady point. Warrior two, we're gonna reverse it. And then we're gonna windmill, bring the left forearm to the thigh, or it can hover with your palm up. Take your right arm all the way overhead, extended side angle. 2 more times, flowing with the breath around the steady eye. Inhale. Exhaling. So it's almost like as things open up, they can become a little more wild and expressive, but there's one point that holds the steady center, and then everything can kind of dance and express itself around that steady center. Let's stay here in Parsvakonasana. You can have the forearm on the knee or the fingertips on the floor, or sometimes I like to use a block, or if you have a whatever in your living room, a box or a big book. Okay, extended side angle pose. Awareness is right here in the center. Ground down through your legs. And then from the soles of the feet, I want you to pull energy up. So as you pull up through the legs, the muscles are engaged more. You're hugging in towards the center of the pelvis, so the leg bones go deeper into the center of the hips. Then from the hips, extend out through the crown of the head, extend up and down through the arms, and from the top of the head, pull down. Straighten the front leg, Trikonasana. Lift the toes of the front foot. Pull your awareness from the sole of the foot all the way up that front leg into the center. Pull up from the back leg, and then from that connection, extend radiantly down through the legs. Pull in your awareness in through the crown of the head, down the central channel, down the spine. Pulse it from the center of the hips all the way up through the crown of the head. Triangle pose. Bring your right hand to the waist. Look down. We're going to step forward. Ardha Chandrasana. The half moon, or kind of walking on the moon. So holding the awareness here. This is your steady center. The most stable is going to be looking down at the ground. Next, if you feel steady there, you can look at the horizon. You might look up towards the sky. Then you can bend your top leg and push back through the foot, or grabbing the top of the foot and pushing the top of the foot into the hand. And as you push into the hand, opening up the front of that thigh. Breathing in and out through the nose. Okay, open, Ardha Chandrasana. Now bear with me here. You're gonna bring your right fingertips down, level off the hips, stretch forward through the crown of the head. We're gonna reverse it. So if you have your block, you might switch it to the other hand, or just be on tented fingertips. Lengthen long through the crown of the head, right hip down, and then spiraling from the hips to the left. Take the left arm up. Option to bend the back leg, push the top of the foot into the hand. If that's not an option or doesn't feel good, just make a shape to the best of your ability, focusing on that steady point. So we're going to inhale to unwind, stretch forward, and then we're going to step back, downward facing dog. Now here, as we move into dog, the steady point now moves momentarily from the pelvis into the heart. So bend your elbows, lift your outer elbow, your inner deltoid, the shoulder muscle, and the outer shoulder blade, and squeeze your shoulder blades onto the heart, and then stretch out through the arms. Let's do that 2 more times. Bend your elbows, lift outer elbow, inner deltoid, outer shoulder blade, and then stretch from the heart down through the hands. 1 more, bend the elbows, lift outer elbows, and stretch out through the arms. Take your left leg up, open the hip, bend the knee, twist open, focal point, eye is in the heart. And then you're gonna push from the heart all the way through the sole of the foot. You can look under the left arm. Okay, straighten the leg, bring the left toes down, and we're gonna flow it out. Back to the pelvis, and now back to the heart. So kind of the stakes go up, or your awareness, you can do it. The awareness moves between these 2 points. Take your right leg forward, spin your back heel to the earth, inhale your arms up, wrap your right arm under the left, cross up the elbows and the wrists, sit down more deeply in the hips, inhale to lift up through the fingertips, curl it back, exhale to bow forward. So kind of building all this awareness around the center point in the hips. Inhale, lift and curl, exhale to bow forward. But the body can be kind of untamable and wild as you practice. It just, by being steady, it doesn't mean you have to be static, right, or boring. Just moving in and out of this kind of wild, ecstatic, erratic form, and that steady presence. Open, Warrior two. Sit down more. Reverse it. Open the front of the body and then bring your right forearm down, palm up where it can float. Left arm all the way overhead. Inhale. Roll it back. Exhale. Extend it out. One more time. And then we're going to hold here in your extended side angle pose for a few breaths. Use the breath to kind of focus the energy in and out of your hips. So as you inhale, I want you to draw from the top of the head and from the feet and the fingers into the center of the hips. And on the exhale, just shine, radiate out from the center of the hips, out. 3 breaths. Just let the body open a little more with each breath. Look down. Straighten your front leg. Triangle pose. Lift the toes of your front foot. Pull as you inhale up into the center of the hips. As you exhale, extend from the hips down through the legs. See where your arm wants to go. You can take the left arm all the way overhead if that feels good. Just make sure you stay connected. Look down. Bring your left hand to the waist. We're going to step it forward. Ardha Chandrasana. Holding that anchor point right here. And then push down through your standing leg, open the hip. See where your gaze wants to go. You can bend your top leg, reach back for the top of the foot. Push the top of the foot into the hand, or if the foot isn't accessible in this way, you can bend your knee and push back through the sole of the foot. Take one more breath here. Release, Ardha Chandrasana. Now slowly move around the center point. So lower your left hip down, left hip to the ground, or a book or a block or a box. Extend long through the crown of the head, spiraling up through the spine, reversing it. And you can bend the top leg, reach back for the top of the foot. So there's lots of beautiful expressions in the dance of the storm. And you're just going to see where you want to go. All right, but staying integrated to that center point for you. The rest doesn't matter so much. Okay, release. Revolved Ardha Chandrasana, then right hand down, level off the hip, inhale, stretch forward. We're gonna step back, downward facing dog. Let everything kind of settle down through that right leg. Bend your elbows, lift your outer elbows, and I want you to feel the kind of magnetic power of your shoulder blades now squeezing onto the back light of your heart here. Okay, so there's a hugging in. And then as you exhale from the center of the upper chest, push out through the arms. Bend your elbows, squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale, radiate out. And one more. Exhale, pulse it out. And then lift your right leg, open your hip, bend your knee, twist open. Push. From your upper chest all the way through the sole of the foot. You can look under your right arm or look down at the ground, see what feels good, but just let yourself breathe. Let the breath pulse and let your awareness pulse in and out of this upper chest focal point. Okay, straighten the leg, level off the hip, slowly lower your right toes down. Let's flow through one more vinyasa here. However that looks for you. Now, when you come into Cobra this time, tend to your fingertips. Really extend. So engage your legs so your kneecaps lift up off the mat. Spread your 4th and 5th toe. Be kind of really extend from your hips out through the arms of the legs. And then slide your low belly forward. Come onto fingertips. Get longer now from the hips to the armpits. Squeeze your shoulder blades onto the back, so feel the focal point in the center of the hips, and then move your awareness just momentarily up into the upper chest, and then take your head back and curl back. Just touch on that spot in between in the center of the head. Exhale, come all the way down. Push back into a child's pose. Release your hips back towards your heels. Notice the sensations of the low back of the pelvis. Okay, and then before we move on, we're going to come all the way up, and we're just going to take a moment to sit here. So I want you to sit comfortably. You can sit cross-legged. I guess you could sit on your heels, although maybe with your hips touching the floor might be ideal. Okay, so we're just going to close our eyes, turn our awareness in, bring it in and down, bring it down and up into the very center of the pelvis. And from the center, in the center of the pelvis, if the eye of the storm was a little sleepy today or a little bit depleted or something, just see it becoming more and more vital and strong and even expansive from the center. And just feel from the left and the right side, this magnetic quality pulling into the edge, the barrier that is expanding of the eye of the storm. Pull in from the front of the low belly and the pubic bone and the sacrum and the low back into the center. Pull from down deep in the ground, in the earth, up, and pull from the crown of the head down. So you're pulling from the outside in, or there's this attractive magnetic quality drawing into the center. Just feel connected on all sides, and then just with your mind's eye, see from the center of the pelvis, you just start to kind of push gently yet powerfully out in all directions. And then we'll take 3 breaths, inhaling into the center, exhaling out, down into the ground, up through the spine. And so feel that kind of new aliveness and vitality that you're cultivating with your practice there. And so now we get to move from that place, which is really where we're focusing in most of those standing postures, into your upper chest and into the heart. So here's what we get to do first. We're going to kind of move towards going upside down without necessarily having to do a handstand unless that's within your practice. So we're going to come onto our hands and knees. Okay, and you're going to spread your fingers wide, like rays of the sun, and you're going to push through your finger pads so that when you push through the finger pads, if you look in the palm of the hand, there's like almost like a little suction in the palm of the hand, like a little gecko. So when we don't do that, all the weight goes into the wrists, and that doesn't feel so great. So you're going to fire up your fingertips like a tiger or a tigress, and you're on your hands and your knees. Okay. So your arms are going to stay straight, but right here, your upper chest is going to stay soft. So let me just show, tell me if you can see the difference. This is really protected and not soft in the heart. This is too soft and collapsed, and so you're gonna find that place in the middle. So your arms are straight, and as you exhale, you're softening right between the shoulder blades without collapsing. Okay, extend through the crown of the head. You're gonna keep that, everything that you just did, and you're gonna push into downward facing dog. Now just here, stretch, keep the fingertips grounding down into the floor. And you're gonna focus for the next 3 breaths. As you inhale, draw from your fiery, powerful hands up your arms into the heart. Bend your knees a little bit. Pull your awareness from the feet up the legs into the hips, and then up from the hips into the heart. Now extend from that super radiant, expansive heart out through the hands and out through the legs. Okay, 2 more breaths. Nice and slow and steady, as we say. Great. Now look forward. Walk your feet a little bit forward, but you've got to keep your arms strong, super clear in your arm. Now just lift your right leg up, hip down. Push into the ball of the left foot. Squeeze your legs towards the midline. And now just start to shift more weight towards your hands, keeping the arms straight, and then lowering your right foot to the ground. Taking your left leg up, lowering your hip down, shift the weight forward to the ball of the foot, lifting your right heel, squeeze your forearms in towards the midline, release the crown down, stretch from the heart all the way up through the sole of the left foot, and from the heart, release it out through the crown of the head. Bring that leg down. You're gonna go through that a couple of times. And those of you who would like to practice just maybe doing a little donkey kick, just starting to kick one leg up, or you can switch kick. So shifting the awareness to the heart, but just allowing yourself to go upside down, keeping your arms strong. And do that a couple more times. Nice. And I know it's sometimes scary, right? It's unfamiliar, uncharted waters. That looks good. Okay, once you've had another go or 2, walk back and rest in your child's pose, because you've kind of shifted the circulation and the awareness into the upper chest. And then you're going to push back into a child's pose, let yourself rest, let the circulation return to normal. Sink back into your hips, breathe, exhale, soften. Great. And then come forward. And just actually sit on your heels for a second, because I want to show. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come onto our forearms in like a dolphin prep. So you're going to be on your forearms like this with your hands down, but you're going to still have that engagement in your hands. And although ideally your hands don't move, you're clawing your mat and you're almost internally rotating your hand. So it's almost like bringing your thumb knuckle towards your inner elbow. Okay, now one thing that happens when we bring the awareness to the heart and we do this is sometimes we'll set it up and this will start to happen. You'll see when we get going. The elbows go out and our head kind of collapses. So you're gonna resist that. Come on to your forearms and just take the time to place your elbows underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. I like to start with my knees back an inch or 2 behind my hips. claw your mat. Kind of little baby steps. You're gonna slowly walk in, breathing, move your triceps forward, so you're shifting more towards your heart, but then just kind of push your upper chest and sternum back through your knees. Feel the magnetic quality of your shoulder blades on the back radiant light of the heart. Head stays lifted. If you can walk in a little bit more, go for it. If this is your edge, just stay, breathe, keep the magnetic alignment. Okay, and then push into your child's pose. That was great. And so one of the things, just a reminder, is when we do weight-bearing poses like you're doing right now, and you do it in alignment with that magnetic pull in towards the eye of the storm, it's extraordinarily therapeutic. So if you have shoulder stuff, neck stuff, upper back stuff, if you do this in alignment, it will help to not only strengthen and open, but to clear. But when we do things, especially over and over and over again, but we lack that pull in towards the center, we lack that magnetic, strong, integrated quality, it creates discomfort, you know, and after a period of time, that discomfort can turn into pain. And nobody wants to be in pain if we don't have to. So that's why we can do this practice. Again, it doesn't matter how far you walk in or if you go up into an inversion, but this is the preparatory pose. So we're going to do that again, and I will give some options. If you have never gone upside down, like taking your feet up, you're not going to do that today, okay? Because we're not in the same room. If you have forearm stand in your practice and you want to go for it, or go to the wall and you feel good, do it. But right now I can't massage you to undo any kinks. So, okay, otherwise, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come onto our forearms, walk your knees back, head stays lifted. Soften a little bit between the shoulder blades, breathe into the middle back, okay? Even this is fantastic. Tuck your toes, lift your knees. Maybe you stay here. I just want you to stay plugged in. All the awareness moving in towards your heart. Walk your feet in a little bit. Triceps forward, sternum back, head stays lifted. Now those of you who are comfortable inverting, go for it. Otherwise, lift your right leg like we did in the handstand prep. Hug your right leg in towards the midline. Come onto the tippy tip of the left toe. Shift the weight towards the heart. Breathe. And then bring your right leg down. And bring your left leg up. Hug in from the heart. Root down through your arms and your forearms. From your great, big, beautiful, radiant heart. Stretch all the way up through the sole of the left foot. Breathe. And then bring that leg down. Bend your knees wide, feet together, and we're going to come into our child's pose. Just rest here. And child's pose is so beautiful because it's like a bow. It becomes like an offering. So as your hips become more vital and more open, then you can pour your awareness up into the heart, which we're doing now. And then as the heart becomes more vital and open, you can pour it up into the head, which oftentimes needs all sorts of clearing out those mental fluctuations and hamster wheels we get in, right? So just opening these three focal points as we go. Okay, when you're done here in your child's pose, we're going to come onto our hands and knees. Breathe into the middle back, soften between the shoulder blades, ground down through your left hand. As you inhale, take your right arm up, look up towards your right thumb, right shoulder blade on the back. And as you exhale, thread your right arm underneath your left. Bring your right cheek to the floor, tent your left fingertips. So here we're kind of playing between the pelvis and the heart. I'd like to start to move it way up towards this twist in the upper chest, kind of clearing any upper back tightness. Tenting your fingertips, squeeze your shoulder blade onto the back. As you breathe in, breathe into the upper chest. As you breathe out, roll towards the back of the head. Inhale, exhale. So keep moving your floating ribs back. One more inhale, exhale, roll towards the back of the head. Squeeze your left shoulder blade onto the back. Good, inhale, take your right arm up, and then lower your right hand down, and we'll switch it out to the other side. Take your left arm up, look up towards your left thumb, and as you exhale, thread the left arm underneath the right, left cheek, left ear on the floor, tent your fingertips of your right hand. If it feels good to walk your knees back a little bit, you can do that. And we're mostly focusing on this upper back rotation here. Those of you who like to play can lift your right leg up or your left heel. So you can always add on. But best to just build this energy here in the upper chest. So from your upper chest, spiraling up through the spine, tailbone down, roll towards the back of the head. Breathe into the musculature in the upper back. Let it release and expand. Good, and then we'll inhale. Bring the left hand down. Go ahead, take a comfortable seat. Again, sitting on your heels, if that's good. You can sit on a little cushion. You can sit on the floor. And before we move on, we're going to just focus a little on the upper chest. Okay, so as you sit, with your very steady yet open, aware hips, just let yourself ground down. And then we're going to move the energy up here into this upper thoracic spine and this place of the spiritual heart, which is very much associated with the breath. So you think the winds of change, these kind of turbulent winds that emanate out from the eye of the storm, okay? Just you can see that right in the center of your upper chest, heart. The chakra is called the Anahata chakra. So closing your eyes. Pull from the depths of the earth up through the core of the pelvis, and almost like from the core of the pelvis, see a beautiful stem of a plant or a flower coming up into the heart. And from above the head, from the clear skies above, down through the crown of the head, through the center of the head, through the neck and into the heart. And just breathe in and out. Inhaling to pull your awareness in. Exhale to extend out. And so as you pull in, you're pulling just gently in that magnetic quality, attracting it to you from the front of the body through the front of the heart, from the left and the right side, through the back of the body, the top and the bottom, and even in all these possible diagonals, almost like rays of like this beautiful, expansive, green eye of the storm. And so if there's any kind of weightiness or turbulence there, you can just let it kind of move through with the breath to kind of clear out, find that, navigate through that steady, peaceful, calm anchor in the heart. And as you take a few more breaths here in and out, see this, just your ability to receive love, to give love, to have clarity on how you feel in your emotions. See this becoming not only clearer, but more charged and more vital. So you're pulling from the outside in, connecting, and then with that much more power and clear strength, you can offer that out. We'll take one more breath here. And then we'll slowly open the eyes as we move our journey up to the steady eye of the storm in the center of the head. Okay, so it's that place in the yoga practice, it's typically the most weight-bearing place. So if you're standing or sitting, it's more on your pelvis. If you're doing an arm balance or downward dog, it's more in the heart, or anything where you're kind of moving your head, so headstand, any inversion. So we're gonna do kind of a prep anytime your head is upside down below your heart, which is nice and strong and open right now. You are getting all the benefits of an inversion without the high risk nature of a headstand if you're not used to doing it. So here's what I want you to do, and I want you to get what you need. We're going to take a wide stance, and I want your head to either be on the floor or supported by something. So since you're in the luxury of your own home, so like here's a bolster, here's a block, here's a couple of couch cushions. So let me show you. So you'll be wide, and the head is not going to be dangling today. Often it's hanging. The head is going to be touching the ground. So if that doesn't happen when you step wide, totally cool. You're going to bring the earth up to you. So a block, has different heights. You can take I'll turn to the side so you can see, you can take some squishy kind of pillow thing. But we're going to be here for a couple of minutes. So what I would like you to do is, let me just show this because it's important. So when you go upside down, you are going to have the weight of your head somewhere between here, your hairline, and here, like where your soft spot or your fontanelle is, kind of depending on the curve of your neck. So it's not going to be here, nor is it going to be the back of your head. So find that sweet spot. There's not a lot of weight in the head today. So you're going to step wide. And I'm going to time this one. So you're going to step wide. And if you feel tightness in your low back, you're going to bend your knees. And you can push your thigh bones back to fold in. Or you can keep your knees bent. And you're going to do what you got to do to bring the ground up to you. And I'm going to let you get situated here. And then we're going to stay for 3 minutes. All right, so brow center, hairline on the floor of the earth or a prop or top crown of the head. And we're on the clock for 3 minutes.
let's start with our hands tented. So tent your fingertips. Squeeze your shoulder blades onto the back. Breathing, Ujjayi breathing, so there's that resonant sound of the waves of the ocean. Feel your pelvis, the center of your pelvis. Pull your awareness from the feet up there and extend from your pelvis down through the feet. And then feel the top of the head, the part that's touching either the floor or a prop. So there's no dangling, but there's a support. Energetically, and even a little bit physically, extend through the top of your head down into that support. And then pull from that support up through the crown of the head. Pull up through the crown of the head into the center of the head. We're 1 minute in. On the inhale, and on the exhale, from the center of the head down into the ground. Now pull up from your feet. Pull up from your feet up into the hips. Connect there. Move from the hips up the spine. Let the spine continue to become elongated into the heart. Squeeze your shoulder blades onto the back so we're connected on fingertips. And then from the heart, extend through the rest of the upper chest, through the column of the neck. We're 2 minutes in, 1 minute to go. If for some reason you need to come out, you listen to your body. I trust you to take care of yourself. Shift the weight forward towards the top of the head a little bit. Push from the top of the head down into the ground. And then inhale from the feet and from the head, pull in to the upper palate. And as you exhale, extend from the upper palate down into the ground and out through the feet. I see you. You're all doing really, really good. Okay. That was 3 minutes. Can you believe it? So slowly come onto fingertips. Just stretch out through the crown of the head. Just extend the spine parallel to the earth. And as you exhale, we're going to fold in. Two more times like that. Inhale to stretch. Exhale to fold. Good, and one more time. Inhale to stretch. Exhale to fold in. All right. We're going to just push from here without bringing your head up into a child's pose. So knees wide, feet together, and just we're going to let all of the circulation, so you're pouring it into your head, the steady, bright, clear epicenter in the head and the upper palate. And then rest into child's pose, where your head is still below the heart, but it's less of an incline. Okay, walking your hands up to your knees. And now your head's been down for like 4 or 5 minutes. So we're slowly going to bring the head up. And we're just going to feel that shift in the circulation coming up and just letting the circulation, increasing this vitality in the head, right? Clearing out mental stagnation, increasing the clarity, the ability to think and perceive. Just clearing out the cobwebs. So let all of that, we turned everything upside down, let all of the circulation return. Keep your awareness focused on the very center point of the head. You can see almost like a clear ball of light in the center of the head. Maybe it's small, maybe it's super bright. Maybe it's growing as you practice. But just now see kind of from the ears, from beyond the ears, from the top of the head, the bottom of the body, pulling into the center of the head and then extending out. So there's that magnetic pulling in, connecting, gaining that power and that strength, and then pushing kind of the arms of the storm starting to push and spiral out into the world. Just let your breath move in and out, focusing on that steady, calm. Okay, and then opening your eyes. And that steady calm is really always present, as we've talked about previously. You know, sometimes there's just the layers, the couple of layers, or the many layers, just veiling that beautiful radiant center. So good job doing this work. We're going to stay in the head, but we're going to come onto our back. So for bridge pose, and so we're going to lie down. You're going to get cozy. And the back of your head now, so you're going to lie on your back. You're going to bend your knees so that before we come back to the head, just bend your knees. Your feet are hip width and parallel. Bring your arms by your sides and let the tip of your middle finger graze your heel. It's proportionate for your body. Then we're going to bend the elbows. Breathe through the sides of the body. Get long. Push your upper arms, your triceps down, and feel how when you do that, it squeezes your shoulder blades onto the back, and it also lifts your chest and your sternum. Now, from there, move your awareness to the center of the head. Push your upper palate into your mat. And maybe if you take one of your hands and feel the back of the neck, you're pushing the head straight back and down into the ground. So you're firing up these muscles in the back of the neck. Now push into your feet, lift your hips, and bring your arms by your sides, palms up. You can slowly and steadily walk more onto the tops of your shoulders. Squeeze your shoulder blades onto the back, palms up, and then gently push the back of your head into your mat. So you're moving from the upper palate down into the earth. And from your feet, lift your toes, draw from the soles of the feet, draw up the legs into the hips, lift your hips up higher, move from the hips up into your upper chest. Let your upper chest move more towards your chin, and then continue to gently push the back of your head into the floor. Cycle from the upper palate down into the ground, come back out through the sole of the foot. So there's almost like a circle of energy you're creating in the upper palate. Then from the upper palate, extend into your heart, down through the body into your hips, and then extend out through the knees, down through the shin bones, down your feet into the earth. Breathe Ujjayi breathing here for 3. 2, 1. Nice. Slowly lead with your sit bones, lower down, let your knees fall in towards each other. Bring one hand to the low belly, One hand to the heart, and then let the back of the head rest into the floor, throat open. Slide your left leg out. Take your right leg up. So you can grab your knee, and we're going to take some variations with the knee, or you might want to grab your toe, or if you have a scarf or a belt, you can do that. So now we're coming, even all 3 points are touching the floor. The primary focus rolls back down into the hips. Extend out through the left leg and extend up through the right leg. Flex your toes back up to you if your leg's extended, otherwise hold the knee. And then we're gonna take the knee or the right leg out to the right. Now, as you lie here, from your feet, I want you to draw this magnetic quality up the legs into the very center of the hips. So your leg bones, your femur bones, pull in towards that center, and then from the center, stretch out longer through the bones of the legs. 2 more breaths here, pulsing in. One more. Great job. Inhale, take that right leg up. Now lower your right leg down. Close your eyes, and before we go to the other side, I want you to feel and notice if you can feel a different sensation between your right and your left leg. So oftentimes that right leg, when we bring awareness just to one side, there will like be more, almost like an effortless expansiveness out through that right leg, because you've connected inward to that steady point. If we don't connect inward, then we're just kind of flailing around in this uncontrollable chaos. We can pull and we can learn and we can grow from that by pulling in and then connecting and staying connected as we venture back out. Take your left leg or your left knee. Good. Stretch up through the sole of the foot if you're holding your foot or a belt. And then we'll take the left leg out to the left or the knee. From your feet, draw up into the bowl of the pelvis, and from the bowl of the pelvis, extend out long through the soles of the feet. Inhale to pull in. Exhale to extend out. One more time. Inhale from the soles of the feet all the way up the legs. The muscles hug in towards the bones. The legs hug, the thigh bones move deeper into the pelvis. Exhale, stretch out longer through the legs. And then take the left leg up. Lower your left leg down. Breathe through the kind of open vitality in the legs. And then we're going to take the legs up. We did eagle arms earlier. Now we're going to do the legs. So with your right leg, cross it over your left. Bend your knees. And then you're going to wrap your right toes under your left calf. We're just moving it in that direction. Bring your arms into a cactus. Lift your hips. Take your hips 1 inch or so to the left. And then slowly rotate your knees to the right. Twisting all the way up through the spine. So still the most weight bearing is in the hips. Let your knees come to the right. But then let's twist up through those other 2 points. So you're going to move your awareness from the hips up the spine into the heart, and just see it as you hold this pose. If you can almost scooch a little more onto the back of the heart, and then rotate from your upper chest. So beam the front of your steady eye and the heart up towards the clear skies overhead. Then gently push the back of your head into your mat as you rotate your head and your neck, so you're turning to the left. And if that does not feel good in your neck, you're gonna back out. The knees drop down to the right, heart to the sky, gaze to the left. Nice deep breaths. Okay, and then slowly look up. Bring your knees up to the sky. Pull the knees in and unwind the legs, feet up towards the sky. We're gonna switch it out. So left leg, cross it over the right, bend your knees, and hook your toes underneath the left foot. Lift your hips an inch to the right. Slowly bring your knees down to the left. Come more onto the back of the heart. Breathe as your body just settles into this pose with your awareness now on the hips or the center of the pelvis. Moving up into the steady eye in the heart. And then gently pushing the back of the head into your mat. Turn, look over towards your right thumb. Knees to the left, spiraling up through the spine. Turning your gaze to the right. Good, inhale, bring your knees and your gaze up, pull the knees in, release, hug your knees into your chest. And you're gonna come down lying on your back. And you get to stay here. So you're getting lots of time to integrate today. You all are doing such an amazing job. It's really an inspiration. So you're gonna lie down and I would like you to just get comfortable, and so you're gonna get whatever you need in order to do that. If you would like a blanket or something underneath your knees, perhaps. And so as you settle in, I'm just going to let you know what we get to do today, which is a 3-part breathing. And typically, this breath is focused on the 3 parts of the torso. But today, to anchor it into the body, we're going to allow the breath to move and extend up into the center of the head. So I'll just be explaining what we're doing while you're getting settled. So basically, if you compartmentalize, right, from your tailbone all the way up through the crown of the head, we're going to breathe in 1/3 from the bottom of the pelvis up into the navel. And then from the navel, we'll breathe in all the way up to the collarbones today. So navel to collarbone. And then 3rd part, even though you can't, like, actually your lungs are not inside your head, you're going to pull the awareness of the breath through the neck to the center of the head. And then we'll exhale all the air out. And then we'll inhale a 3rd, pause. We'll inhale a 3rd, pause again, and inhale a 3rd. And so we'll do a couple of rounds of that. So I hope everybody's cozy. Let's just close our eyes, turn our awareness into our breath. Breathe in through both nostrils. Exhaling. Let's do that again, breathing in. Exhaling. And then breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the navel. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the collarbone. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, hold at the crown of the head. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold at navel. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, holding at the collarbones. Inhaling all the way up, filling the cavity of the head, hold at the crown. Exhaling, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, fill the lungs all the way up to the collar. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold at the top. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the pranayama, breathe in through both nostrils. Exhaling. Inhaling again. Exhaling. And take one more breath, and then we're going to do another round of that. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold at navel. Inhale, fill the whole torso, the lungs, front, back, side to side, hold at the collarbone. Inhale all the way up through the column of the neck, all the way filling the whole internal landscape of the head, hold at the top. Exhaling, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold navel. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold collarbone. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, crown. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. And completely let go. And we have a full 7 or so minutes to be here, which in Shavasana, the corpse pose, which is so forgotten sometimes and rushed through. We don't incorporate enough time to really rest after the storm and drink in your practice. And as you rest here, just let your body release into the support underneath you. Let it go. Let your muscles release away from your bones. Let the breath continue to be just that beautiful, steady rhythm or current moving through you. And as you rest today, I'd like to read to you. This is from a ancient text called the Vijnana Bhairava. It translates to the Radiance Sutras. And I think all these sutras are so beautiful. And so this one wanted to join at the end of your class today. The body is sustained by altars to the radiant nectar of life. Around you, an ocean of air, ready to become your breath. Above the head, the glow of an invisible sun within the spaciousness of the heart. A pulsing throb of creation where the breaths meet, fuse, and transform into each other. Whenever, wherever your mind wanders, whatever you wonder, return to the luminous. Choose any altar. Throw your attention again and again into one of these centers where spirit and flesh consummate their love. Day by day, old whirlpools fade, the endless circles. You are living in the temple of essence. And as you rest here for the next minute, two more just little quotes that wanted to come. I don't just wish you rain, beloved. I wish you the beauty of storms. It's John Geddes. And this is Sanjo Jendaya. Storms don't come to destroy you. They come to cleanse you. Lean into and learn to fly in the storm. So feel your own vitality that you've connected to and cultivated. Increasing this pulse of life, of prana, of life force energy that moves through you. And take a couple of just deep cleansing breaths. Let's take one breath into the center of the hips. Let's take another breath into the center of the upper chest and the heart. And lastly, but not leastly, a breath into the center of the head. Begin to deepen your breath. And from all three eyes within you, just start to move out. So it can be kind of organic again, just moving your ribs, stretching. Maybe your hips want to move side to side, your head, just kind of stretch it out, reawaken from this place of deep rest. Radiate out through the fingers, out through the legs, stretch out, become real big and spacious and wild and expressive, and then pull into the center of yourself, giving yourself a sweet self-embrace, pulling back into the center where everything begins, rolling off to your right side. Just taking a moment to just thank yourself for doing this practice and showing up for yourself and for so much more than yourself, as we all know, on the journey of yoga. It's really important work. Come back to your seat with your eyes closed. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for showing up and being that steady eye of the storm for yourself and your family and your community and for the world. Namaste. Thank you so much.